Cool. So on National Day of Civic Hacking, we're going to really try to connect with people and learn from the people we serve. But it's kind of cool to see that we already do that to some extent. And we all just want to keep improving. We want to keep doing that better and better. So again, just right on the theme of National Day of Civic Hacking and connecting with people, user research. This incredible user research group that we have is around and doing fantastic works, and a new member who's been part of the team for about a month or so, Caitlin, is here to talk to us about their work. So please put your hands together for Caitlin Barta.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, so I'm a pretty new member, but Zhao Yi, who normally would probably be talking to you guys, couldn't make it tonight. So I'm going to give you guys a preview of what we've been working on and what we are going to be working on for this meetup in the coming weeks and months. The problem that we're trying to solve right now is how can we improve the new member experience for you? For all of you, past yous, future yous, who come here for the first time to this meetup and are trying to figure out what project you should work on, who you should talk to. And so our approach as a research group is to use user-centered design principles, basically going and talking to the actual people who are involved with the problem, in this case, new members. And you guys some of you maybe might be wondering, why should we do this? And we have a few good reasons, I would argue. The first is just having a great experience. We want everybody to have that when they come here. But also, if we can get more people to come back after their first visit, then that'll naturally just help this meetup grow. And then obviously, we'll have more projects, and we'll have projects being completed faster. So it helps not only the individuals, but the entire group if we work on this. So to walk you through what we've done so far, we already did some interviews, and these interviews were with new members to try to understand, all right, so you just showed up, like tell us more about your experience. And from there, the team before I joined did a bunch of work making personas of different types of new members because people here all come with different goals in mind, and so we wanted to understand what all of those were so that we could see what pain points map to not only everyone but to specific types of new members. So once we found out about those pain points, or actually let me first show you what those pain points were. These are stolen from Zhao Yi's slides from a few weeks back, so some of you might recognize this. To start off, when you walk up to the door, I don't know how many of you remember this, but you wonder, all right, am I in the right place? I can't even tell. And then if you actually get inside, then you might be wondering, where's the meeting room? Like, what am I supposed to do now? And do I even fit in here? So I showed up as a UX researcher, and I was like, I know this is code for SF. Can I even do anything here? And I didn't really know, and I accidentally found out about the research group, and it all worked out. But if it hadn't, I don't know if I'd still be here. And then once you finally get to this room, you're wondering, okay, what are the teams? Like my first day, I heard pitches from like 3 or 4 teams, and I had no idea what the other teams were doing. So that was kind of overwhelming. And I didn't know what they needed and what participation level was required, and like what were we creating and what was the progress for each team. You really had no idea. And then finally, after the new member orientation, you're like, hey, who do I talk to? And everybody looks so busy. You're like, am I interrupting? How do I even talk to the right people? And these were all things that were found in those interviews that I mentioned earlier. So from there, from IDing all those pain points, we started doing some brainstorms. And you can see a couple really, lo-fi sketches there. We're not doing any high fidelity stuff here necessarily. So you don't need massive design skills. And right now, we're working on prototyping and gathering feedback. So I drafted a new member survey that we're going to try to run. Last week, I wasn't here for this, but there was some design brainstorms around new signage that we could include to make it clear where to go, what to expect your first time here. So here's a couple more of the works that people did last week. And so to cap really quickly some of the things we're working on. First, on the left is better signage. making it easier to understand what are the teams and what do they need. So team matching, which is something I think was mentioned earlier, we think that would really help. And then at the top there is just making it easier to approach teams. So ideas like an ambassador program. So maybe each team should have one person that is the designated person you go talk to, so you know you're not interrupting them. We have a bunch of ideas. We're still working in the early phases of all of this. So for now, we're going to continue iterating, and I think next week we're going to be working on V2 of the signage, and we're gathering more feedback, and we have bunches of pain points more to work on. So if you're interested in helping us out, we are mainly interested in anybody interested in understanding people. It's pretty broad. If you have interest or experience in user experience, UCD, HCI, we're your team. So find us at #research in the SF Brigade. Thanks. And 1 minute for questions, if any. Got one. Say that again. Of course, and thank you guys for having a research team. I wouldn't be here if you guys hadn't made that, so yeah.